Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
You know, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever, maybe even radio someday, who knows. Even after that, you continue to perform the song live, and it just kind of evolves over time. I mean, you see a lot of time artists like add verses to songs that have been released for years.
Yeah.
Or I think Sabrina Carpenter is doing that right now, where she writes a different ending verse to one of her most famous songs at every show. It's never really done. It's all about what else can you do with it, especially live. Like, people are paying to come see their favorite song. So how do you make it a different experience than what they can just listen to at home? Like, they paid for this to be something different, something cool. But you don't want to, change it too much, because it's their favorite song, maybe, So,
right.
I don't know. I think it's always evolving. I don't think a song's ever truly done.
Hey, welcome back to the Scott Townsend Show. Today I have with me a good friend, a friend of the podcast. She's been on the show before promoting her last album, Drive, which was and is an awesome album. Ralyn Gayle Casey. Ralyn, how's it going?
Hello, it's going great. I'm glad to be here, glad to be back. Got new music to promote. It's a good day.
So last time we had you and I were speaking about visiting about Drive, which is I love that album, and I've got it on my playlist, my favorites playlist. Honestly, I do. That one song by the Taillights, or
Dancing Under Red Lights.
Dancing Under Red Lights. Yeah, it's probably my favorite on the album.
Good. I feel like that's a rare one.
Oh,
I don't have a lot of people claim that one as their favorite.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, I really like it. So today we've got you on the podcast here. We're going to, like you said, promote. You've got a new song coming out.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the song and the album coming out. First of all, first question. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I have not had breakfast this morning. I usually sleep in. It's like till 11-ish, just because my schedule is most of my work happens really late at night.
Right.
And so I'm not usually awake at 8 a.m. and functioning.
So no breakfast. Okay. We got
today.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you've been up to since the last time you were on, about a year and a half ago at least.
Yeah. So I got married, which is super cool and exciting and fun. And that's been just awesome.
You wait.
Yeah. It's actually worked out really well for me. My husband is just, I think, the most talented guitar player in the world. And he's super supportive of me and creatively and as a husband. So he's been, just awesome. He's also such a good friend. It's just been fun doing life together for the last year and a half. I've changed genres, so I'm back to country music again after a little 5-year hiatus. So I'm really excited. I think this is where I was always supposed to be. I feel good about it. And I'm really excited about this new project we're working on. I think it's going to be something really special.
So the new song, I've listened to it a lot, especially this morning. I was preparing for the interview. Is it out yet, or is it coming out?
It comes out July 28th.
28th. Okay. So let's talk about it. What's the name of the song?
Talk About It.
So let's talk about it. I hear the country.
Yes. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, let's start. Here, I want to play just a little bit of this, and then we can kind of jump into it here.
When you walked in, I thought I recognized you with my
Yeah, I like that dun dun dun, that part in there is really cool. I love it.
That's my husband.
What's the story here? What are you trying to say in the song here?
So what the story that's in the song is, you have this ex or this ex hookup or whatever, and it's been years, but now your friend is dating them, and you've never really talked about it. Like, it wasn't a thing, it was just kind of something that happened, and now it's awkward. Like, oh, she doesn't know that, like, you know, after prom night or whatever, I think it takes place like spring break, New Orleans.
Mm.
It's not a true story. I'll say that. Um, but it is.
I was going to say, what's the inspiration behind the song?
Yeah, it's inspired by my best friend Lauren. She's been my best friend since the day I was born. She was like in the delivery room when I was born. We've been best friends a really long time.
Oh my.
And thankfully, we have very different taste in men. We have never once ever liked the same guy, even had a crush on the same guy, which has been a huge blessing, honestly. But I mean, we grew up in Bernie, so we grew up in a pretty small town.
Yeah.
We went to Geneva, so even smaller dating pool and private school, and never ever interested in the same guy. And I just had the thought one day, I was, sitting down with my guitar, and I thought, what if we did? How crazy would that be if Lauren, was interested in a guy that I had dated before? And so that's the inspiration that drove me to write the song, was just a completely hypothetical situation. But yeah, it's not a true story, but it's rooted, it has good roots.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What's your favorite part of the songwriting process?
I really like the chorus. The chorus is my favorite part to write. I usually start with the chorus, and then from there, sometimes it's also the title. Sometimes if I hear a title in my head, I was like, "Oh, that would be a cool song to write," and then I'll build a chorus around what I think a cool title would be. But I think my most favorite part is the editing. I love to go back and add things. Like, there's a line in the song that says, it mentions, the character has long blonde hair. Well, the song's about Lauren. Lauren has long blonde hair. Lauren, like I said, we've known each other forever, and so I've called her my cousin my whole life. So in every chorus, you will hear the word cousin if you listen for it, but it doesn't read like cousin, because it's because in this small town. But you hear cousin every time if you're listening.
That's cool. Little Easter egg.
Easter eggs,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I love that.
Yeah, I love editing too. That's probably my favorite part of podcasting, is editing the video and the audio afterwards and adding a little this and that.
Yeah.
I noticed in the song there's one part where it sounds like it almost sounds like there's an echo in a short. Every once in a while I hear an echo. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah. So the idea was, the song's about gossip. So we wanted to put as much, like, as made sense, reverb and harmonies, and have it build throughout the song, so that it starts out and it's just me, but by the end of the song it sounds like there's a bunch of people that are all shouting the chorus. As word gets around.
How do you know when you've written a good song, or even a great song?
I don't. Even still, I have good days and bad days. Like yesterday, I'm so excited about this song to release, I can't wait. And then I'll listen to the radio for a few minutes, and then I'll be like, I don't know, is it good enough? Like, is it gonna cut it? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I write bad songs, but I don't know that I trust my gut yet to be like, oh, this is a hit.
Yeah. Who knows, really? You probably have a gut feeling that, ooh, this is pretty good. But
yeah.
Then again, if anybody's going to buy it or not, you just have to throw it out there and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've got a good crew of people around me that I think would be honest with me if my songs weren't good. So I'm going to keep going with that
Yeah.
mentality.
You got a good tribe, sounds like.
Yes, yeah.
So how do you know when a song is finished when you're through?
A song is really never finished. I mean, just like any other piece of art, it it's done whenever you decide it's done, I guess. But even still, like after the song releases to, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever, maybe even radio someday, who knows? Even after that, you continue to perform the song live and it just kind of evolves over time. I mean, you see a lot of time artists like add verses to songs that have been released for years.
Yeah.
Or I think Sabrina Carpenter is doing that right now where she writes a different ending verse to one of her most famous songs at every show. It's never really done. It's all about what else can you do with it, especially live. Like people are paying to come see their favorite song. So how do you make it a different experience than what they can just listen to at home? Like they paid for this to be something different, something cool. But you don't want to, change it too much cuz it's their favorite song maybe. So
Right.
I don't know. I think it's always evolving. I don't think a song's ever truly done until you just stop performing it, maybe. But then somebody else might pick it up and make their own version, and who knows?
Do you prefer writing lyrics or melodies?
It depends. Sometimes a lyric will hit me first, and then a melody will come along. This actually happened in one of the other songs on the project, titled Love Drunk, that I had the concept. I wanted to write a song with the title Love Drunk, and I knew where it was going. But the only thing I had in my head was like, I want to use the 12 steps because that's, it all ties in. That's the idea, is to write like a cohesive poem in song form. And so I ended up actually writing the verse of that one first, just to talk about those 12 steps. And then I have probably 100 voice memos of just different melodic ideas that I didn't stick with on that song. And then probably like 4 months later, it just hit me and ended up finishing the whole song in one sitting. So sometimes melody can be a roadblock for me. I am a words person for sure. I love words. Word games are my favorite.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love words. So I think probably lyrics first.
Thank you for joining the Scott Townsend Show. We'll be back right after this.
Before we continue, the best way to support the Scott Townsend Show is by telling friends, family members, and becoming a patron at patreon.com/the Scott Townsend Show. So, yeah, we have awesome perks, personalized videos, personalized episodes, all kinds of cool stuff at different tier levels. Patreon allows us to do the show full-time, part-time, anytime. So thank you so much for your support.
Hey Scott, Bob Frazier here. Congratulations on your 3rd anniversary. That is absolutely terrific. I appreciate the opportunity you gave me to be on your show and look forward to visiting with you again soon.
Hey, this is Eric Rostad with Books of Titans. I want to say a big congratulations to Scott Townsend on 3 years of the podcast. I've been on a couple times now and I've really enjoyed the conversations and just following you and what you're doing. So congratulations, keep it going, keep strong, keep reading.
So tell us about your latest project, this album coming up. What's the name and how long did it take and all that?
So the album is titled Love Drunk, and I'm super excited about it. It's 10 tracks, and it's country music, and it's got a little bit of rock. It's got a little bit of the folk Americana vibes to it. It's got some heartbreakers and also some fun, upbeat kind of girl party songs, which I'm super excited about. Some of these songs are older. Like I wrote them the first time I was doing country music and then just shelved them because I went to R&B for 4 years. And now that I'm back, I'm pulling those old songs and they're finally having their day in the sun, which
cool.
I'm very excited about. I think Fall Girl is the oldest song on the record. I wrote that one when I was 15 or 16. So it's been in my catalog for a long time, and I think it's probably my favorite one on the record, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be a lot of people's favorite song on this one. But yeah, some of the songs are so new. Record Time, which is my next single in August. That one I wrote actually not for this project. I wrote it for the next project, and I brought it home and I was like, David, listen to this song I wrote. And he was like, scratch that other song. This is going on the record. And yeah, so some of them are so new that they weren't even supposed to be on the album. And it's fun. It's a lot of, there's a lot of different inspiration in these songs because they were all written at different times in my life. And that's an opportunity I'll probably never have again. Unless, I do the Taylor Swift thing and I start pulling things from the vault. But honestly, I don't know that my vault is as golden as hers is. So
Let's talk about touring. You guys are doing some of that now. Do you tour or play with your husband, or are you, a solo act, or how's that work?
So yeah, right now is kind of it's been a weird kind of in between time. But my husband tours with Cafe Anderson. He is his lead guitar player. So he's on tour all the time and he loves it. I mean, my husband's been a touring musician for a long time. I think 3 or 4 years now. And I got to go on tour with him kind of during the pandemic, I guess, but more like 2021-ish. As an opener for David Adam Burns, which was super fun. It was actually how I ended up getting back into country music, because I was like, I'm an R&B singer, and I sang Fall Girl actually for Dave, and he was like, no, I think you should do country music, and he was like, I actually think you should open for me, and I was like, oh, okay. So I went on the road with him for a year, and I actually took a year off after that to just kind of hone my performance skills. And, got married, moved to a new town, was looking for a little bit more security. So I went into theme park entertainment, and I worked at Six Flags over Texas for a year in shows there, which was way different than I was expecting and just a whole lot of fun.
What'd you do there?
I was a singer in a couple of their shows. I did their Christmas at the Southern Palace, the one that won the Golden Ticket Award. And then I did a little duo acoustic show with David in the spring. I was a part of Nothing But a Good Time and Hell's Bells in Fright Fest. And I loved it. The people that I met there, my friends that I made were there. Some of them are going to be friends for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've had even more opportunities pan out. Like I've played at festivals in Grapevine, because of the connections that I had through Six Flags. And yeah, it's been slow trying to get back into touring, mostly because I don't have any music out. I don't really have any reputation, but I still do book gigs. That's my main source of income is gigging. But they're mostly just acoustic, your standard bar gig for now. I do have a couple of pending full band dates, but they're pending, so I can't really confirm anything at the moment.
Is that your buddy there?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Sheeran. He felt like he needed to be part of this interview.
Good kitty. Let's talk about your fans. Let's talk about, the people that buy, the people that show up. What does that mean? What do your fans mean to you? I mean, is it just talk about that for a little bit?
I mean, right now, I don't really have many fans. The fans that I have are like friends and family, which is incredibly special and important because the fans that I have now, I have 100% of their support, which is like, I don't know any other artist that feels that way. Like, the largest percentage of my fan base is people that are giving me 100%.
Yeah.
They're not like, well, I also probably like Megan Maroney the same amount that I like you. They're like, you're my daughter. I like you the most. Which is great to have that much support from people when you're coming up, like I'm trying to do right now. I'm sure that sorry. I'm sure that someday that'll change, but I'm very grateful for the friends and the family that are around me that buy my merch and come to my shows. And I do make fans when I play. I have new people every day that follow me on Instagram and TikTok and want to be a part of what's happening here. And I think that I have the opportunity right now to become friends with all those people. So it feels like a very close-knit little community that I have with me and my friends. They don't even really feel like fans. I think that's why I'd say I don't really have any fans. I'm sure I do, but they just feel like friends to me.
Yeah, just a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. And it's I mean, this is a huge growing process for you and your art, and it's kind of validating, when you have people sign up, buy up, whatever it is you offer, So, well, so a lot of luck to you and your music and this new album, Love Drunk, and talk about it. It'll be, I guess, on all the music platforms.
Yes.
If not Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, YouTube.
Yeah, anywhere you look for it, you'll find it.
Any video that goes along with this?
Not this one, but we do have plans for a music video in the future. So stay tuned.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So if anybody's interested in you and your music, how do they get in touch with you?
Instagram is the best way. I spend most of my time on Instagram interacting with people. I mean, you can also follow me on TikTok. It's a less interactive app, I think, than Instagram is. Less of a marketplace, really, but I do have an account on there. I also have a website where you can sign up for my mailing list. It's not active yet, but it's just a way for me to connect with people that want to connect with me because my email is on there. Yeah, so those are some ways that you can connect with me, but really Instagram is the best.
Okay, so your Instagram handle, is it at Ralyn Gayle?
_Ralyn Gayle, yeah.
At _Ralyn Gayle.
Yes.
So I'll put that down below here so people can see it. Well, anything else? This is your time. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, before we sign off, I want to shout out to all the people that made this song what it is. So this song would not sound like it does without my team. It was such a big focus for me, I think, for this project to find people that were as passionate about their thing as I am about mine, which is, singing and songwriting. And so, like, there's nobody in this world, I don't think, that loves guitar like David loves playing guitar. And Jose is just so passionate about producing, and Ryan with bass, and just Jesse and Jason are so into their craft also. It makes the whole project sound like passion, which is, I think, what you're talking about with a full band being the whole is better than the individual parts. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those last two people, what do they play, did you say?
Jason is the drummer on the track. He actually also plays drums for Cafe Anderson. Okay. And then Jesse is the engineer.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So big shout out to those guys.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on this new song. I'm sure it's going to do well. And for Love Drunk coming out in August?
February 9th.
Oh, February.
Is when the full album drops. Yeah, but I'll have another single coming out in August.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, for Ralyn Gayle, this is Scott Townsend. Thanks for watching, listening to the Scott Townsend Show. Have a great day. Everything's going to be all right. And we'll talk to you later.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dietzo Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Janet, sieh dir über die Schulter, bevor du die Spur wechselst.